Sorry, but all the other sets I want from this wave are kinda really fucking expensive, so yeah, I'm gonna start with this. Okay, I will start with the building, so the minifigures for once, because honestly it's the part I care about the least from the set, so yeah. So the build is just this really small like platform with like a small shrine for like this short katana. The piece is basically just like a normal katana piece, just like shorter, like literally. Just look at this. The color scheme is basically along the lines of the other like temple-esque builds from the wave, which makes sense. Since we can see there's like this modularity set up for this. So I guess you can connect it with like the other sets from this wave. Which is kind of funny just because like technically if you want to 100% complete like the temple build stuff from this wave, you would have to get like this massive sprawling giant temple set. Then this other pretty like okay sized set. And then this tiny thing. Like I know it's just fine just having like to spend so much on the other sets in total, and then just like a few euro more just for this, you know? This is also has a play feature which I will just showcase with a minifigure just because it makes it look more interesting. Like a character is standing here, and then you let them fall. I will just, okay, you know what color? Yeah, just fucking lay. For fuck's sake. And then if you press down, you know what? I will just do it without the minifigures just because it's harder with the minifigures. But yeah, basically you just press down and then, yeah, the platform explodes. And like the idea was, and the idea is you do it with the minifigures, but since the minifigures want to stay on the platform, it's kind of hard. I honestly kind of forgot if the places are supposed to be placed like this or this. So I will just launch it again with a different setup. Yeah, I think this is better because it just launched easier. Look, I honestly it was basically the last stage on the instructions. I just kind of eyeballed it, so sorry. Anyhow, on the actually interesting part. Starting with the fucker who didn't want to stay on the platform, we have Cole. This is like the tournament suits on the new tournament suits, since if I said tournament suits, that would also be the tournament elements and blah blah. Anyway, actually it's very similar to the tournament of element suits in the case of with them being sleeveless and not really heavyweight suits, which makes sense. I really like the scale designs they have going on, which just makes sense with the Blood Dragons Rising, but also it just looks neat. The Ninjago that we can kinda see here, I think it's just like M-O and in case E, so Master of Earth. I think that's what the shortings on here are. The symbol is probably just like the first letter of Cole's name, like just like the Metal suit's head. So yeah. Otherwise the design is pretty just standard Cole in terms of the color scheme, black, gold, orange. It uses orange mask instead of a black one just for color scheme breakup, I guess. The core face is a pretty standard one. It's the one before Dawn's Rising without like the visor face, since like it doesn't really make sense for a visor face since this suit is like less high end, not high end like extra. So yeah. And the accessory comes with in this set particular is just like this three-piece hammer build, which is a pretty good like small core weapon. Since like, yeah, I get for this situation they didn't want to build like a long hammer. So like this small Mjolnir light type build is honestly pretty neat. Yeah, it's honestly a pretty good figure. I still prefer the ninja mech and climber suits over this, but this isn't bad. I won't go out of my way to go for like magazine promos and stuff to get the ones I don't have from the suits in the sets, but like, it's alright. The second figure is the new Wolf Warrior. They now go for red and purple designs out instead of the blue and purple and azure look of the original ones, and it's a pretty neat look. Generally they have a bit more like gunmetal also, which I probably should have mentioned now that we talk about it, and they are like therefore they're more armored looking, which I will go into in a bit. And looking at the back, we have a similar Wolf Warrior look, and we also see like almost some cracks forming as like they are bursting with energy. The mask is dual molded with purple in the front, red in the back this time. And they're reusing the mask from the first wave, which I think is just done because this wave doesn't have like the hooded guys where the face needs to be seen. So they're basically always wearing the mask, so they just probably just thought, yeah, this is the budget saving way, which makes sense since like they need to go for a new dual molding and stuff, so yeah, I get it. The weapon he comes from in this set is the claws, which some warriors did in the first wave, so yeah, makes sense. So this is actually the reason I actually got this set to review, because I saw lots of people saying how these are such a downgrade from the original Wolf Warriors, and no they fucking aren't. Let's get into it. So why do I think the new Warriors are just as good as the old ones, or even better? Well, let's look at the color schemes. The old ones' main colors were blue and azure, so different blues. The dark blue was the main color, which was basically transferred into purple on the new Warrior designs. This makes sense because if I understand correctly, these guys are powered by the blood moon, right? And the blood moon is red. And what happens if you mix red with blue? You get purple. And therefore making purple one of the main colors on the design shows how they're more powered by the blood moon, as if the light of the blood moon is literally tinting their suits. This makes sense because the azure on the original suit is basically like their energy color, for lack of a better term. This means it's just kind of the color to showcase the character's power flowing to it. For example, on Cole, that would probably be orange, since like when his rock powers are more heated up, the orange, and his Ninjago is like more on the orangish brown end. And since these guys are powered by the blood moon, their power being literally red, as if the energy is literally flowing to them and shining to them, yeah, that makes sense. The third color used on the new designs is gunmetal and some silver printing. These also make sense since with the metallic colors, obviously this implies armor, which also makes sense for the upgrade, since if you're getting upgraded, might as well give yourself more armor and stuff, right? As you can see, all the new colors on the Wolf Warriors are used to showcase how they're more powerful than before, which makes a lot of sense for the second half of a season. Also, new color scheme is a bit edgier, honestly, and like a bit of edge for a power-up ain't bad, you know? The printing on the new design also showcases how they're wearing more armor, which again proves the point. Also, some of the neck attachments the new warriors have also show how they're more powerful. There's obviously like the shatter spin armor, which yeah is a far more like powerful looking shoulder armor just on design alone than like the small spikes some of the original warriors had. And then we have those big translucent blood moon claws. They are bigger than even the figures themselves, and with them the Wolf Warriors look like a genuine threat instead of just some guys who can just spin just throw away. So as you can see, the new Wolf Warrior designs are a worthy upgrade in terms of character design to showcase how they are far more powerful than their previous form, which again makes a lot of sense for the second half of a season. If you don't like the color scheme, fine, but like this just makes sense. Also, if you color pick from both of them, you can kinda make a scuffed biflag, so happy Pride!